How do I start my videos?
What's up, Crystalias? We're back here with another video, Q&A, boyfriend tag.
This is not the boyfriend tag.
You know the deal.
This is the Q&A.
Q&A with the boyfriend tag. What is up, you guys? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, so you guys, welcome back to another video. So as you guys can tell by the title,
I was biting my nails when you started. Sorry.
Oh, my cheeks hurt. I'm crying. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So as you guys can tell by the title, today's going to be another Q&A, but except we have a special guest. Enter please.
Hi.
So today with me right now, I have
Moises.
Penelope's dad.
Alvarez. Junior.
I have Penelope's dad. So we're going to be asking you questions that people want to know. So question number 1 is, what are your names, age, and nationalities? My name is Crystal.
My name is Moises Alejandro Alvarez Jr.
I am 20.
I am 20, soon to be 21 in July.
And I am Mexican with American descent.
And I am Mexican. Yo soy de rancho.
Question number 2 is, how old were each of you when you found out you were pregnant? So at the time, I was 18. I was 18.
I was 19 at the time.
And you were 19. I was turning 19 and you were turning 20.
Yeah.
Question number 3 is, how did you tell your significant other you were pregnant? What were your reactions? Well, I've mentioned this in one of my past videos, how I kind of told you. But you can say it this time. They hear your side of the story.
I don't know what was going on that day, but we were fighting. So I wasn't really listening to her. I was kind of ignoring her. I was playing games, and I was really involved in the game I was playing. And she was having like a midlife crisis, freaking out. For some reason, she decided to go to the restroom and do something. And I noticed she was gone, but I didn't really care.
Test.
Okay, I noticed you were gone, but I didn't care. She came back into the room, she threw something in front of me, and I just moved it to the side and was like, whatever. So she stands next to me, and she looks at me and she goes, can you look at the test? Can you look at the thing, please? Why? Can you please look at it? And I'm pissed off and I look at her, I'm like, what's this? She goes, I'm pregnant. And it was very faded, the pregnant line, so I was like, you're not pregnant, take another one. She goes, I'm pregnant, it's there, I know I'm pregnant. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you positive? Yes. And my reaction and the way I was feeling completely changed. I went from being like upset and mad at her and wanting to strangle her to happy and filled with joy to wanting to strangle her out of joy. Question
number 4. How did you feel after finding out I was pregnant? Well, you kind of already answered this.
Yeah, I did. I was happy. I was ecstatic. My life was changing.
I've previously mentioned this in one of my past videos, but I was very like hysterical. I was just like not on board. I was like, the first thing that went through my head was like, how am I going to financially support the baby? I didn't have a stable enough job. I was only working part-time at a movie theater. I wasn't done with school. I didn't have my own home, my own car. Like, we had none of that. So that was kind of more what I was worried about, was just how am I going to be able to provide and take care of a child when I'm not financially stable and stable myself. But after talking to him, he kind of reassured me that, you know, it's going to be hard. Like, without a doubt, it's extremely going to be hard, but we have the support that we need from our families, and at the end of the day, like, we'll get through it and we'll be okay. So the next question is actually directed to you. But it's, how do you feel being a teen dad?
I wasn't a teen dad for very long. Found out she was pregnant when I was 19.
She was born when you were 19.
She was born when I was 19 as well. My birthday's in July, so April, May,
you were
June.
Only born. You were only born. You were only a teen dad for like what? 2 months?
2 months. A little bit over 2 months. It didn't really set into me that I was going to be a teen dad until I saw, you know, the miracle of life. which made me want to faint and pass out. And oh my god! But it's a beautiful thing to see, not for the weak of stomach. But it didn't hit me until I saw Penelope. I literally saw her give life, and then hear Penelope's first cries, see her go to the bathroom the first time, see her pee all over the nurses. It was funny, and then to see Penelope, just wrapped in Crystal's arms. I think that moment it changed my life.
Get her arm, get her arm.
It changed my life. It was beautiful, and then to be able to hold her, and to be able to have her, against my chest, hear my heartbeat, be able to be like, hey, you know what? We brought you into this world. We're gonna care for you. We're gonna love you. We're gonna be there for you every step of the way. Everything you need, we're gonna provide. So it felt to me amazing to be a father at such a young age. I know a lot of people say you're starting your life backwards. Who's to say life has to go this certain way? I can start my life however I want. I can end it however I want. If I wanted to have a kid at a younger age, it wouldn't have been, what people say the correct thing to do, but there's different ways of living your life, and it just so happened that my life in my adult age started with my daughter. And it's gonna grow, and it's gonna teach me a lot of things, but to be a teen dad, it kind of matured me, and it changed a lot of things around here for my family. Brought us closer together. It brought me and Crystal closer together. We still fight, but it brought us closer together.
So think of it this way. When we're like 30, 35 years old, sleeping in late and everything, our kids are going to be up making themselves their own food. Whereas everyone else who decided to wait are going to be up at like 2 a.m. breastfeeding and taking care of a newborn.
That's how you're looking at it?
When we've gone past all of that.
Oh my god.
And our kids are now old enough to take care of themselves. Next question. How did you tell your parents or friends? What were their reactions? And do you have any advice for any teen parents or soon-to-be teen parents on how to tell their parents?
First person we told was my mom. I decided the first person that should know was my mom because me and Crystal live in the same house. So we pulled my mom into the room and we let her know. First reaction was she slapped me across the face and then hugged me and was crying in happiness. It was crazy. She left like bruise and everything, but she was happy. She wanted to be a grandma. She wasn't too happy that I was having a child at such a young age because she's old. My family's old school Hispanic. Letting my mom know was the easy part, sort of. So her reaction was like anger, then happiness and tears. And then from there, it was the difficult part for me, which was my father. I couldn't come to terms with telling my dad. I wanted to, but it came out of my mom, which I was upset about because I wanted it to come out of me. And the reaction I got out of him was very different. It was an aggressive, hate reaction.
There was only one reason why he reacted that way.
Yeah.
And it was because at the time, I myself was 100% for abortion. I'd say like 90. And then there was like this other 10% that was kind of like, maybe I'll keep the kid. But at that time, I was full on like head for abortion pretty much. And so his dad was like completely against it. His dad was like, you're not doing that. And so the fact that I found out I was pregnant and I was considering that, that's what made him so angry.
Yeah.
Because once he found out we were keeping the baby,
his reaction changed.
Completely changed. 100%, like a full 360, like different. He was the happiest person he could be.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a touchy subject between abortion and, keeping the baby. And I don't want to offend anybody, but this is just the way my family is. If you guys believe different things, I mean, that's what you guys believe. I'm not going to argue with you or anything. It's just, I don't want to offend anybody. But my dad he thought we were going to not have the baby. So his reaction was, I don't want you in my house. I hate you. You're not my son. Get out of here. You know, I don't want anything to do with that baby. Be gone, basically. But then he found out we were keeping the baby, and his reaction changed. And he was like, "That's my baby. I'm gonna raise her. If she needs anything, I'm gonna do it." And he was all for it. He was just like, "I'm gonna do everything to make sure that baby gets what she needs." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And that's kind of where it pulled us closer together, and we became a lot closer and had a stronger bond. And the most important person that I wanted to let know was my grandma. And it's the most important because she's my grandma. I love her. But her reaction was the same as my mom's. Anger, smack me, hug me, love me. Then
Cheers.
cried. Yeah, then cried with my girlfriend.
As for me, I've mentioned this in my past videos, I never told my mom directly I was pregnant. It was my family that told her, so I didn't really get much of a reaction out of her. There wasn't any conversation about it or anything like that. As for friends, my friends were pretty supportive. I didn't really get any negative feedback or any negative thoughts, comments, questions, like none of that from anybody. So for the most part, everyone was pretty supportive, and any advice for soon-to-be parents that need to tell their parents that they're pregnant, number one thing I would say is just to be open and honest about everything. And another thing I'd probably say is, if you don't want to get your butt kicked, do it in like an open area, you know?
In public, maybe at a police station. I don't know. 10 feet apart. Especially if my mom's Hispanic.
That's your advice?
Yeah. If you are going to talk to them, this may apply to some people. This applied to me and Crystal when it came to talking to my dad. We should have decided what we wanted to do before talking to people. Because if we would have went to someone and said we're keeping the baby, and then went to someone else and saying we're not, would have caused issues. Yeah, a lot more problems. So it's better to sit down, take as much time as you need, talk about it, figure out what you're going to do, and then from there move forward with talking to everybody else.
Okay, next question is, how did you choose the baby's name?
Oh God. Let me just say,
It was
she did not like my names. I like Dulce, I like Nicole, I like Alejandra. Oh my God, nada.
No offense if that's your name. No offense if that's your name, but I was not feeling it. I don't remember where I heard it from, but I kind of just told him about it, and that was just one name that stuck with us both. I think
that name didn't come up till later.
Towards the end.
And?
Towards the end.
Yeah, at first it was kind of going back and forth.
We had no name.
Yeah, we had no name.
We couldn't agree on
We didn't know
like,
what gender, so we were trying to figure out what name for each gender. I liked certain names, and each name I liked, she didn't like.
Delilah and Aubrey were the two names that I absolutely loved. I think Delilah was my number one. And I love Penelope's name. I love Penelope. And that just kind of ended up being the one that I mentioned it, and that just ended up being the one that we both liked, that we both agreed on.
It kind of just stuck. Like I don't know. Like, I mean, for if you guys are parents, you guys might understand. But for us, when she said the name, for me, it stuck. It's like that has to be her name.
That's the name.
That's the name. So we named her Margarita after my grandma, because my grandma was going through a hard time at the moment. So second we heard Penelope Margarita, my dad gave the idea of Margarita, and it kind of stuck with us. We were just both like, that sounds good. It's a long name, but that sounds really good. We like the way it sounds. So we named her Margarita. So she's Little Marge, and then we have Big Marge, which is their nicknames. So, I mean, her full name is Penelope Margarita Alvarez. It's long, but that's what we liked.
Next question is, how was adjusting to life with the baby?
Oh my God, it's crazy. Especially for me, because
you had the hard time with it, I feel like.
I had the worst time with it.
Not worse, just harder.
It took a lot of adjusting for me, because she did a lot of the research and looked up. She took classes on babies, so she knew
child development class.
Yeah, she knew a lot more than I did going into this. A lot of adjusting for me to be like, okay, you know what? Is spinning her around actually bad for her? Yeah. Like, I need to slow down. You know, give one turn, let her laugh. Give another turn, you know, just give her some time instead of just spinning and spinning and spinning and let her get dizzy. I feel like it's even a lot more difficult for me sleeping now because I work a job in construction where I have to get up at 5 in the morning and I operate heavy machinery, so I need my sleep, but at the same time it's like tells me all the time, I'm a dad. That comes first. And I want that to come first, but I also want that to come first with me not going to work and getting injured.
This is where we butt heads a lot.
This is where we butt heads a lot. I mean, it's a very difficult situation because I need my hours of sleep that I need so I can get up and go to work and not get hurt, because I've gotten hurt before. I've gotten hit in the head with rebar. I've gotten cut. I've gotten burned. I got my finger squished. So it's a difficult spot to be in because I don't want her to pick up my slack and be like, I'm doing everything for the baby. But at the same time, it's like I need to be able to sleep to go to work to not get hurt because I work a very difficult job.
I've previously mentioned this in my past videos, so definitely go check those out.
Little plug.
But just to kind of recap, it's definitely a lot of it does. What he said is 100% true. But for myself, just readjusting in general, like there's just so much that goes into it. Like when she was a newborn, I didn't know every single little thing. Like I knew a good amount of stuff and how to take care of a baby, but no one's born to be a parent. No one's taught to be a parent. Like you learn all of that on your own. And so it was kind of like figuring out for us like what works for her. There's so much that just changes. And you as a person, you become a lot more mature. Like just within yourself, you become a lot more mature, and now everything you do, it's like it's dedicated and focused around your child.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next question is T.
T.
Do you want any more kids?
Yes. I want a total of 4 kids. Crystal does not. I don't know why, but I see myself having 4 kids.
I see him being a dad of 4 girls. I don't want any more kids. I don't think. Like before having kids, I was like, I want a good 3. 3 is like my limit. But then after having 1, and I had such a difficult pregnancy and labor, and you were there for all of it. After going through that, I'm like, I don't want to go through that anymore. Like, I don't want to go through it anymore. Like, it's so hard.
They say after the first one, it's a lot more easier. I don't know. I haven't given birth. She has.
You never will be.
I never will give birth.
Next question. This is a juicy question. Do you have any regrets?
I have a lot of regrets.
Boy, bye!
Ow! I do have some regrets. I regret not getting her ears pierced already.
She's 11 months in her. When we wanted to do it, we were just gonna. There's a whole story behind that.
No, I can sum it up for you guys real quick.
Let me sum it up. I wanted her to go to someone professional who does piercing professionally for babies.
They're expensive as hell, though.
That's expensive. And so I didn't want to go to like Claire's or like any kind of random tattoo shop. I wanted it to be specifically someone that does it with babies. But things just kind of always got in the way. And finally when I was like, okay, you know what? Like, let's just go to Claire's. Like, let's just take her to Claire's. Let's just get them done. She's getting older. Let's just get it done. Coronavirus happened, literally.
And so she still hasn't gotten her ears pierced.
She's been through a lot for as little as she is, and a lot of it, 99.9% of it was out of our control.
Yeah.
And there was something like, of course, we're new parents, but there was something that we did that caused her to get like that. It was just, she just happened to be a lot more immune to a lot of other things that we didn't expect her to.
Yeah.
And then when life throws lemons at you, you make lemonade. So moral of the story, she doesn't have her ears pierced. That is my fault. We should have done it a lot sooner. But the one thing I do regret, I will say, the number one thing I do regret is not taking a year off of school. And the only reason I say that was because I found out I was pregnant that summer after graduating high school, and I was just beginning college. And so my first semester, like, I was extremely sick. I ended up dropping out of 2 of my classes, and I got dropped from my other 2, so I went from going to school full time to nothing. And so that looked really bad, and that messed up my credits really bad and my GPA really bad. And then me thinking I could do it second semester, where she was born in the middle of the semester, I couldn't. So I failed a lot of my classes, and I got dropped from a lot of my classes because she was born. So instead of that happening, I really wish I would have just taken that entire year off. But you learn as you go.
Yep.
That's the final question. Just, do you have any advice for teen parents, or soon-to-be teen parents, just in general?
I mean, there's just something that's big between me and Crystal that we still work on. But for any teen parents that are out there, communicate. Talk to each other. Let each other know what's going on. I mean, if I was a single dad, I kept roughhousing the way I did with Penelope, it scares me to think that she might have gotten hurt. Luckily, I had Crystal there to communicate with me, to be like, hey, spinning her around too much can hurt her. Throwing her up in the air, it's not a good thing to do. What if you miss and she falls? She's going to hit the floor from 15 feet up in the air? There was a lot of things that changed because we communicated, and we still have a lot of issues with it.
In any relationship, whether you have a child or not, there's gonna be issues, but it's just a matter of communication.
Another thing, because this was an issue for me and Crystal when we first started, don't let your issues affect your daughter or your son. If you're mad at each other, be mad at each other, but when it comes to your kid, give them all the love that they need. So if I'm mad at her and I want to pull her hair out, cool, I'll do that when Penelope's asleep. I'm not actually going to do it, but just
Theoretically speaking.
Leave your issues for when you guys have your own time. If me and Crystal get some time away to go to the store or go out, that's when we can settle our situation. But around your kid, because when they're growing up, when they're growing up, they pick up on a lot. So if I'm sitting there cursing at Crystal, and then Penelope grows up and curses at me, it's my fault.
So going alongside of kind of what he said, I think one really important thing is to take time to your guys' self. And that's one thing that we definitely struggled with.
Oh, like putting time aside for yourself?
Yeah.
For your relationship?
Being a parent is a huge, huge, huge responsibility. And one thing that I definitely did was just, I let myself go. And when I say that, I mean like, I wasn't taking care of me. I wasn't taking time to myself to do what I needed to do, whether that's making breakfast for myself, taking a shower every day, taking 10 minutes to do my hair, taking 5 minutes to do my makeup, like whatever it is, taking an hour to do any of that, to shower, do my hair, makeup, and just to get ready for the day and feel like I did something for myself. And when you don't take care of yourself, like, you can't take care of other people. When it came to our relationship, we just completely, like, it's like we weren't even there to each other. Like, I saw him in the morning, he said goodbye, he picked me up from work, we came home, baby, like, that was it. And then all we did was just, like, we were two strangers sleeping together, taking care of a kid.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it was for us.
For a kid to grow up with two parents, it's a necessity. But for the world we live in, they treat it like a luxury.
Our advice to you guys is communication. time management, making time for yourselves as individuals, your relationship. Yeah. That's it.
That's it, guys. All right, we're done. Have a good day. All right, Crystalitas, that is the end of our video. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch this new video. I don't know.
So that's the end for all the questions we have for this video. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below if you guys have any more questions or even advice for us.
Yeah.
And let us know what you want the next video to be.
Yeah, turn on that post notification bell so you get notifications when we upload.
Look at you.
And hit that like button in the face! Alright, cool.
Bye, guys.
Bye.